time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hi, everyone, and happy Memorial Day. All right, guys, well, we're sending you all the love, and hopefully you had an amazing weekend. Everyone stayed safe, and you got to celebrate in the best way possible. Now, I know that it's kind of weird to do hot, messy topics on a holiday, but some of us are sitting at home watching YouTube, so why not, especially when the Bravo Hot Topics never end. So before we jump into all of this, go ahead and let us know in the live chat where you're watching from. Don't forget to smash that like button, and let's welcome Jason. Hello.
Oh, hello.
Wow,
oh my gosh.
I'm 50
awake
to 170.
Today. Hey, guys, happy Memorial Day. Of course, we're honoring and remembering all of those who made it possible for us to be sitting right here, which is so cool.
Yeah, especially Pops is a vet. My other grandfather's a vet. We have a lot of vets in the family. So Jason's grandfather.
Yeah. But then we celebrate the vets at Veterans Day too. So that's exciting. Listen, speaking of a holiday, where are we starting today? Because I'm really curious.
Okay, so I know that everyone wanted to kind of kick off with what's going on with Vanderpump Rules because there's a huge reunion secret that is being put out there. Now, Alex Baskin, who is one of the... Oh, we're just jumping right into it, huh, Jay?
Alex Baskin?
Alex Baskin is one of the executive producers who stepped away from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. He is huge when it comes to Evolution Media. He still oversees Vanderpump Rules.
Yes.
And he went on and he did this like live talk situation, sort of like what we did for Spilling Tea or like Page 6 does with virtual reality. And he did it with Lisa Vanderpump. And he said that there is something that will be coming out during the third part of the reunion. And when this comes out, all of the cast, they have their contracts now, but he's telling them not to sign it until this information comes out because they might not want to come back. You had an interesting take on this, but before we get to all of that, I just want to share what Lisa said because people were speculating that it was Lisa knowing about the affair before it came out. She said, okay, so no, I didn't know until a minute before you all did. I wish I would have, though. And she said she knows what it is, and it ain't this.
And wasn't like Raquel supposed to have said something that she knew at SUR back in like a long time ago? Did someone say that? I don't know. And anyways, we're not believing anything Raquel or Tom have to say anyway. But I don't know what this could be. I honestly don't. I think we're actually going to find out right before the reunion. Stay tuned, especially if you're a member. But I don't know what it could be. You know, with Pump closing, my kind of intuition is that Lisa is pretty much like just, I mean, I think she's been done with Vanderpump Rules for a minute, but here is such a great opportunity to move the show somewhere. Okay. Because she does have 2 big restaurants opening in Vegas. She already has 2. Maybe part of opening those 2 restaurants would be to do something with Vanderpump Rules. There also has been rumors going around that most of the people who work at Schwartz and Sandy's are being kind of scouted for Vanderpump Rules. Now, we talked about how Schwartz and Sandy's was supposed to get a spinoff, and then because season 10 before Sandoval was looking so good, they decided not to, right?
Right.
So I don't know what it could be.
Well, really but then also, I don't think that the thing is it's a 30-minute flight to and from Las Vegas. So I don't think like Lisa only films with the Vanderpump Rules cast for about 3 months out of the year. I don't think that it would be her leaving, and her shots are so minimal that I feel like they could still have their lives and her fly in and out and film a few scenes. So I don't feel like it's that. The only other thing that I could possibly think, because this came out from a cast member at the reunion, none of the cast knows yet. So it means that it had to have been a special one-on-one with Tom Sandoval or Raquel, because Ariana said that she doesn't know. She thinks she knows, and she thinks that it's not as big as everyone's making it out to be. But
which is the usual when it comes to Bravo.
Right, which is the usual when it comes to Bravo. But I'm wondering, do you think that potentially Raquel and Tom Sandoval hooked up while she was still with James? Like, could that have been it? But then why would Sheena and the rest of the cast want to quit?
Yeah, it's such a, that's the thing. It's like, what is the thing that would make the cast question, should I sign this contract?
Right.
That's what I'm speculating. And that's why I kind of see a move, because Vanderpump Rules has become a show kind of without Lisa, if you think about it, right? And maybe this is an opportunity to to have maybe even a spinoff or something where you bring her back into the center. You're working for her again at her restaurants, kind of where it all started. I mean, is it because they're going to bring back some other people?
Yeah.
Like, we have Jackson Brittany coming back. Is it a possibility Billy Lee is coming back? Is it a possibility that someone is coming back into the cast that people won't want to film with? So maybe don't sign the contract, because if you sign the contract, you're going to have to show up to film, and these people will be a part of it.
Yeah.
Is that a possibility?
It could be. Also, Annika said that she believes that it was going to Vegas too. Deborah, interesting. Hi, Adam and Jason. Did anyone notice the one-on-ones were filmed the day before the reunion, which was also the same day as Rachel doing her stage TMZ interview? No, I didn't notice that. But we'll have to wait and see what it is, honestly. I mean, I'm sure, obviously, it's going to come out. But another thing that I wanted to kind of talk about for a second was Tom Sandoval. So TMZ came out with this morning because Tom Sandoval was on his way to Pittsburgh while he was on the phone, and he was just minding his own business, sitting on a plane. He's eating his beef jerky. He has his Coke there, his cheddar sun chips.
He literally looks like a sophomore in high school right here. Like, dude, grow up.
He's just minding his own business. We can obviously tell it's him with the white nails, but this passenger said that I was just minding my own business, and I happened to catch a photo of Tom Sandoval, and then when I zoomed in, I saw it was Raquel. Well, first of all, if you're minding your own business, you don't just happen to catch a random photo of somebody and then it just happens to be Tom Sandoval. Your luck is not that great. And then secondly, if you were minding your own business, why did you leak this photo to TMZ? That makes no sense. And thirdly, if Raquel is in fact away at a mental health facility, somebody on TikTok said that she gets 30 minutes a day on the phone. I don't think she gets her own personal cell phone.
It's just, I don't know. First of all, why don't you have a privacy screen on your iPhone? Any celebrity, even Sheena, has a nice privacy screen where you can't really take a photo of who you're talking to. Like, get it together, first of all. And then second of all, Max even just said in the live chat, Sandoval planned this. I mean, that could be very possible, because I would play this out for as long as I could. And even Dave said on your live last week, play it out. Get any kind of money. And speaking of getting money, Ariana, I think, has made close to $1 million since Sandoval came out.
Oh my gosh. Can we talk about this for just 1 second? Because Ariana is out here winning. These are two totally different situations right now. This was another article that came out from Daily Mail saying that, well, not only is the show doing absolutely incredible right now, but Ariana right now has apparently made over $1 million from all of the sponsorship opportunities that have come out of Sandoval.
Wow. I mean, much deserved, right? I mean, if you're going to be in that position like she was, and you're going to be the one who is, taken by surprise and hurt, like, go make your money, girl. Do it, because we're all here cheering for her to win.
I just want to show you really quick too. Guys, 400 in the room. Wow. Hi, everyone. Good morning. This came out from Daily Mail, but I wanted to kind of give you an idea. They're showing Ariana has already gained an extra 500,000 followers on Instagram in the last 2 months, and brands are now beating down her door. Her first post-Sandoval deal was an Instagram giveaway with the sex toy company that probably got her around $25,000. Then they keep on going through, and they say a deal with Bloomingdale's was around $25,000 plus $10,000 in clothes. Uber Eats and
SoFi deal.
The SoFi deal, they're saying, was probably about $100,000.
Wow. This is crazy.
For the deal, industry experts predict that the reality star may have walked away with as much as $100,000. And this was the SoFi deal, talking about how the whole her moving boxes was a publicity stunt. I mean, next season on Dancing with the Stars, pocket another $125,000 right here. Wow.
This is, I mean, and here's the thing. Now this cast has a season 11. It has a season 12. So at the end of the day, now that people have moved on, now that everything is simmering, well, it's not, because we still have 2 more parts of the reunion and some kind of secret surprise we're all waiting for. But everyone has won from this, except Tom and Raquel, unless they live happily ever after and get married and have babies and get a house. Like, okay, then maybe you win too. But it's not looking like that.
I mean, honestly, it's kind of crazy too, because here they're saying right here too that she's making around $500,000 per season, and she's still earning around $50,000 for appearances. As they're going through it, and remember, she made almost $200,000, her and Katie, on the Something About Her merch, which obviously is going back into the restaurant. So they're killing it with that. Plus all of these appearances, she's making a shit ton of money. So with that, I almost wonder, like, if I were Ariana, I would take the money that I'm getting from that plus my portion of the money out of the house, and I would immediately just go buy another house. Like right now, I would go get the house.
Yeah.
Right?
Get a lawyer to help you get out of the other house too.
I mean, that's probably honestly the deal. But okay, so we can move on, guys, because that's enough Vanderpump Rules for today. We're gonna have a lot this week with almost
thank God
500 in the room. Oh well, there was this one last thing because Lala Kent was getting a lot of shit, and she said, "Remember." Because she's responding to people who are giving her shit. Remember, Raquel was calling me a mistress bimbo. Well, into her affair with her best friend's man. Sandoval always tried to school me on being real. I love my friend Ariana, so of course I was going to defend her. How heavy I went, though, was due to what Raquel and Sandoval had constantly pushed onto me. While they were doing what they were doing, I was out for blood. Two things can be true at once. I mean, that's fair. Oh, not to mention, hold on.
Oh my God, are we still going Sandoval? Here we go. Vanderpump Rules.
What do you mean?
Wait, you said we had one more thing.
Yeah, we have one more thing. Do you not want me to have one more thing?
No. Have one more thing. I'm just curious about what it is.
Okay. Well, I want to bring this up. First of all, we have right here, obviously, Kristen Doty. And Kristen Doty was talking about a scene that was taken out of the finale, right?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to, while you sit here, I want you to let us know if you think that she will make another cameo next season, and I'm going to bring up this clip of her.
I don't think she'll make another cameo. I don't see, there has to be a reason. I know we've talked about this before. If someone comes back to the show, if we lose someone from the show, there needs to be a reason. You can't just like throw people in to make it interesting, you know?
Even
like,
if she's been a part of it.
Even if she has been a part of it, you know, she was fired for a reason, right? So for her to come back, there has to be a significant reason. And I just don't see that, you know?
I agree. All right. Well, CC Loves You shared this. Kristen was surprised that this specific scene did not make the episode, but who knows? Maybe it will be on Secrets Revealed. Hold on.
Maybe they just didn't find it as important and they wanted to keep my scene with her lighter. But Ariana showed me a text that was from Girl Joe that night, that Wednesday night when everything went down, when Ariana found the phone and all that, right?
Real quick, Crazy Joe?
Yes.
Okay.
Joe sends a text out, a group chat to Raquel, Tom Sandoval, and Ariana.
What? All together?
And it's this big, and it's this big long text being like, you know, this is so hard because I love all of you equally. And
She's
with
so
Ariana
annoying.
in a group chat with the
Tom
two
and
of
Raquel.
them. Who would do that?
Huh.
So hopefully we get it in the Secrets Revealed, but there's no secret that there's more drama going on. And this time we're going to pan over to the Real Housewives of Miami. Jason, do you know where I'm going?
Lord. Yes, with Lisa and Lenny. I can't believe this. This is just more like, it makes me sick. This is another narcissist, right?
You think so?
I kind of do. Yeah, I kind of do. I don't believe it, but go ahead.
Okay, so what they're saying right now is that the divorce is getting really crazy. And there are new court documents where Lenny is alleging that Lisa verbally and physically assaulted him in their Miami mansion. So he's saying he entered their former marital bedroom to retrieve mail that Lisa regularly leaves for him there. And upon entering the master bedroom, Lisa suddenly ran out of her combined bathroom and closet and surprised Lenny by engaging in a verbal tirade. She was demanding to know why Lenny had entered the master bedroom. And he said, or this is what the documents read, page 6 picked up on it, Lisa started pushing Lenny physically, which caused him to retreat. And Lisa continued to pursue and follow Lenny while yelling at him. Lenny explained that Lisa could have diffused the situation by shutting the door after he left the room, but he alleges that she chose to escalate the moment by calling 911 and accusing him of being the aggressor. So then the Miami Beach Police Department, they showed up and they confirmed that there was an incident that happened at the home, but they did not arrest either party due to insufficient probable cause for domestic violence altercations. Like this. So now what they're saying, so as if this isn't bad enough, right? We know that there's a bunch of drama going on. They're currently filming the season of Real Housewives in Miami. So you know all of this is going to play out.
Yeah.
But it keeps going.
Oh no. Okay. I have something to say about this. I mean, because let's be real in all of this. Look at the size of Lisa Hochstein.
I know.
We know Lenny is a big guy. We know Lisa is the size of my pinky. Like, this is another Sheena, like Raquel moment. It's like, come on. Really?
Yeah. Well,
Really,
she's the one who called the cops, apparently. So,
well, I mean, did she put on her cape and like fly around and, come on. She didn't. Whatever. I mean, it's just my opinion.
okay. Well, the altercation prompted Lenny to file an emergency motion requesting a hearing for temporary custody of his and Lisa's children, Logan and Elle, due to her unpredictable behavior. In the filing, he stated that he would like to reside in his and Lisa's home, but would pay for Lisa to find residence elsewhere. Now, a Miami judge did not view the couple's domestic violence circumstances as an emergency, and they denied Lenny's request. But Lisa did respond, and she said, as we will make clear in our response filing, there is a long history of me having to call the police because of Lenny's behavior. On this occasion, he entered my bedroom without my consent while I wasn't yet fully dressed and refused to leave while calling me names in front of our children and taunting me.
Crazy.
So, do you want me to keep going? Because it keeps going.
Oh my God. It cannot keep going.
It keeps going.
You're just making me so excited for this season of
no.
Miami. I cannot wait.
And this is just one storyline. Here we go.
Okay.
Prior to the bedroom incident, Lenny accused Lisa of planting listening devices in his car, and this all made it to court, but she has denied the allegations, calling them mean and calculated. He also said that Lisa has been bleeding him dry financially and charging extravagant amounts of money to his accounts, including $10,000 for Instacart. So he's trying to get her cut off from the funds. He's saying that she's planting listening devices on his cars. She's attacking him in the home. He wants her out of the home, which, mind you, if you remember when we were watching last season of The Real Housewives of Miami, he was trying to get her out of the home a long time ago.
Yeah. And he had plenty of visitors in the home too when she wasn't there.
Plenty of visitors. Okay. Well, this isn't shade, but I'm going to pan this over because, again, this is not shady, guys.
Okay, wait, what are you doing?
I'm going to pan us over for a second
Okay.
before we get into the craziness of Atlanta and Beverly Hills and New Jersey and Lisa Rinna. I just got to bring up Jen Shah for 2 seconds.
What does that have to do with Lenny?
Okay. Well, I wanted to talk about, because you said a lot of visitors, and Jen Shah, I don't think gets a lot of visitors. So my thing is, you made me think of her. Jen Shah now is pleading with the police, like the prison, because there were photos taken of her inside of the prison yard. She feels as though that these photos were not taken by paparazzi because she knows exactly where that was in the prison yard, and she knows the angle. So now she's complaining because their cells, the way that their cells are done, is that there's 4 women in a cell, 2 bunk beds on each side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 toilet. Boom. That's what you get. That is this extravagant prison that everybody has talked about. So in the prison, she's claiming that she is now afraid because somebody was able to get photos of her out in the yard, that either it's a guard or it's another prison mate, and that these people are going to catch her while she's undressing, while she's taking a shower, or while she's using the restroom. So now she's in fear, but I don't know what she's trying to accomplish out of this, because
Neither do I.
what are they going to put you in isolation? Do you want that?
I mean, listen, the thing about going to prison is a lot of your freedoms are taken away, right? So I'm not saying it's right that someone is doing that if that is in fact the case, but well,
I mean, there are photos out, so somebody clearly did.
There's this photo. Please tell me that another photo we've seen.
We haven't.
Besides these 2 right here. There's really nothing. And, I think, I hate to say this, but I think it's kind of done. You know what I mean? Everyone is tired of talking about it. So I think that having another photo or 2 pop up, I wouldn't feel threatened if I were her.
Okay, well, Andy Cohen has also entered the chat on this because he's talking about Jen Shah and what happened and why he didn't do the last interview. You remember the last interview that technically she did this last interview, you guys. So we did the first interview, if you guys remember correctly. And part of me sometimes wishes that we didn't do that.
It was received so well.
It was received so well. And not only that, it just, you know, it's like with the NBC and the Bravo of it all. And it just,
you know, we have another big interview coming up that we're going to next week. And I feel like a lot of people, just to give you a little, I have to defend you, you know, you're my husband, but when we do these interviews, there's not a lot of prep, you know, I mean, there is prep on your side, but you cannot tell people what to say or to tell the truth. I mean, you had the Fallon interview, which wasn't completely truthful. You've had the Jen Shaw, you know what I mean? And that's up to them. They are the ones responsible for how they answer the question. You are not responsible for putting an answer in their mouth. So, right. You know, like, yes, we do a lot of interviews that a lot of people are like, well, I didn't get the answer I wanted. That's because we can't force someone to give you an answer.
Well, and also people forget that there was a team of lawyers and people who were at the Jen Shaw interview who were interrupting every like 15 minutes when I would 100%. Say something and make me re-ask it a different way.
Yes.
So, but what Andy Cohen said about all of this, Andy hoped to sit down with Jen Shaw after she pleaded guilty to fraud and she received her 6.5-year prison sentence. Well, we know that she said she did not want to do the interview before going into prison due to Bravo's refusal to remove contractual provisions that would allow them to legally make misrepresentations of her story. She released a statement saying that that was not really true about what our negotiations were. Okay. That's what Andy's saying in response. What she wanted was, I believe, was for us to do a series. She wouldn't do an interview unless we did a series leading up to her going to jail and following her, which we kind of felt like we had already seen. Also, what I wanted was answers. She had lied to me. She lied to all of her friends. She lied to everyone. So I wanted to talk to her about what really happened, and she didn't want to. Maybe Howie Mandel would have given her more of a safe space.
Oh, that's shade.
We're picking up on what you're putting down, Andy Cohen.
I mean, listen, I think if she wanted any future on Bravo at all, if people would even really accept her back, you know what I mean? But if she wanted any future, she probably should have done something with Andy, but you never know how Andy in editing is going to spin stuff too. So I could see her being a little precautious and a little, you know, about it.
Shady Millennial, thank you for the super chat. Anyone would watch this. Ultimate Real Douchebags trip. Lenny, Sandoval, Tom D'Agostino, Louis Ruelas, Brooks Ayers, Michael Darby, and Marlo. Okay.
Listen, I'd watch that. I mean, just the amount of ego in one room on one trip together, that would be amazing.
I mean,
okay.
So we're going to pan this over for a second, and we're going to take another jab before going down to Atlanta and Beverly Hills. Well, she's still in Beverly Hills, but she's kind of doing her own thing right now.
Hey, girl.
Andy Cohen revealed what actually happened with Lisa Rinna. So I've talked about this a couple of times. Lisa Rinna, after last year's reunion, that night when she went home, she decided to send Andy a text message saying, I think I'm done. Well, he was like, I think that's a good idea. A couple weeks went by and she thought about her decision and she's like, you know what? Actually, I'm not done. I still want to be on the show. Like, I don't want to go anywhere. And Andy Cohen was like, sorry, girl, we already talked with production and we figured out a way to move on without you. So, which
they have to do, right? I mean, listen, if you say no, now you have a whole team of production, a lot of jobs that need to figure out how to move forward without you. And then you to come back like that. I mean, they're not thinking about, oh, okay, we're so glad. No, we've already figured it out. We're going to move on. You know, that makes sense.
I mean, I think that's exactly what they're thinking. Because I think in their mind, they're like, first of all, I think at the moment that a housewife becomes too wish-washy or becomes too demanding, I think that they look at you like, okay, you're a little bit of a liability right now because are you going to come? Are you going to go? Are we going to have to stop production mid-season? Are you even mentally prepared to handle this right now? Are you going to be more of a headache for production? Like all of these variables play into their decision going into a new season. And I think with Lisa Rinna, they obviously could not control her on social media at all. Right?
Ain't that the truth? Yes.
Okay, so on top of this, Lisa Rinna then came out and said that Andy's full of shit, pretty much, that she did not come begging for her job back. And she went on to explain why she actually left the show to begin with. She's like, when it came to the show, when I first started, It was so light and fluffy and airy and just fun. And then all of a sudden, after the pandemic, everything got so volatile. So everyone, they were taking these storylines and they were taking them to heart and genuinely attacking us. She's like, it's a stupid show. It's a shit show. Why are you attacking me? So she kind of slammed the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills while explaining her exit.
Right.
But then she goes on as she's talking about how much of a shit show it is and all of these other things. Everybody's like, well, you still tried to get your job back. And Andy thinks the straw that broke the camel's back was when he went to Los Angeles to receive his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Around that same time, they just got back from Aspen, and Lisa Rinna called him and said, hey, listen, this happened in Aspen. I think I've got to run with it. I think I have to speak on it. And Andy was like, I'm not going to tell you what to do. You do whatever you want to do. However, at the end of the day, based off of last year, everyone, the interpretation from the fans, the way that they're perceiving you is that you're going after everybody, and it's not a good look. So you do what you've got to do, but I'm just letting you know that that's where everybody sits right now. And she's like, okay. And she chose to run with the Kathy Hilton situation. But then fans were so divided because people really came in loving Kathy Hilton. And they couldn't choose the side who to believe.
I mean, it was also a situation. We talked about this so many times. This situation is just as old as the Jen Shaw story. But like there was nothing. There were no cameras around. We had to go word for word on like what happened. And when you get down to it and down to the details that both of these ladies had, it wasn't as big of a deal as it was made out to be. Right. And most of it played out on social media, which is to your point that you said earlier, they couldn't control her on social media. So you're playing this whole storyline out. We're getting so interested and everyone is bickering on social media, but we're not interested in actually what's happening on the show because of that.
Right. Well, and it's, like I like what Dave Neal says when he comes on and does the Vanderpump Rules recaps with us, because he always talks about the parasocials, which I never really thought about it. But when you have shows like these Bravo shows, they still continue to play out even after the episode is over on social media, when you don't get a lot of that with The Bachelor because the contestants have to be quiet, right? Mm-hmm. So over here, we see a lot of that, and that can really affect the show. That's why you see Andy Cohen getting upset with Kelly Dodd, getting upset with Lisa Rinna, getting upset with Candace Dillard-Bassett, because he's like, we cannot control you on the show. Even if you go over to the Real Housewives of New Jersey right now, they are on a social media and PR podcast ban right now. They are not allowed to do social media or podcasts unless every little thing is approved. They can't like each other's stuff. They can't comment on each other's stuff. They can't repost stuff. And this is the first time ever for them. But it's because it's such a disaster on social media. And they're right now trying to figure out how the hell are we even going to put you guys together to film a season, let alone like now this shit's still carrying over. Like we have to stop it.
The same thing is happening, I think because they're going into their reunion jersey. The same thing is happening with Vanderpump Rules. They are on a complete ban. No, stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the Lisa Rinna.
Are you going to miss Kathy Hilton? Because she's not coming back either.
I don't know who I'm going to miss. And I hate to say this. You guys are going to chew me out in the chat. As much as I could not stand Rinna. I think Rinna is a fabulous and talented performer. I've seen her on Broadway. I used to watch her on TV. I really like her. I just didn't like her on reality TV so much. However, just seeing the number of guest appearances we might have on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills on this upcoming season, it makes me worried on what kind of show we are going to get. And are we going to miss Lisa Rinna? Or was it just too toxic? But, we have Denise Richards making an appearance. I don't know. To me, just what we're seeing, and I can't judge it on that. I hope Beverly Hills is not having the same fate that OC had and Atlanta is currently having, in my opinion.
Well, Jason, I'm gonna let the cat out really quick. Will you please read this from Norma, and then we're gonna get into the Ozempic of it all.
Oh gosh. Norma, thank you so much for the super chat. I feel that the big reveal from BPR will just be as underwhelming as the Aspen story. Bravo leading us by the nose, yet I'm here for it. And Norma, thank you again. I have to agree with you because we always get promised. Do you remember the reunion where we were going to get all of the answers from Erica? And it's like we got nothing. It was the same thing. So that's crazy. Guys, speaking of Housewives, we need to talk about Dubai. So when Adam gets back, we will talk about Dubai for a second. But Norma, thank you so much for the super chat. Thomas says, I think Rinna was needed to come back, unfinished business. I mean, listen, if there is still unfinished business after this season, I think she might need to come back. So who knows? Who knows? All right, Adam,
Okay.
take it away.
All right. Thank you guys for letting Jason host for 2 seconds. All right. So I wanted to bring this up because everyone is slamming Kyle Richards right now for allegedly using Ozempic to get thinner. Now, so many housewives have come out saying that they have used this to get thinner. It's an injection. And now you have Erica Jane, who is receiving backlash for allegedly using it because Kyle Richards made a comment. She's so sick of everybody commenting on her body. All of the photos are coming out from the cast trips, from her on the beach, from her at the gym. And people are like, this is not natural. She's like, I stopped alcohol and I've been working out, which, by the way, guys, if you stop alcohol alone, everything depuffs. So that's just one.
It does, but we've had like even Dolores came out and talked about Ozempic. So I'm really curious on, yes, alcohol does have a huge effect on your body, especially when you stop. Like, we've not had a drink for a couple of months sometimes, and then we look like completely different people.
Yeah.
So 100%, I don't know. I'm not saying it's not or it is, but there are many factors. But the fact that it happens so fast. The only thing about Ozempic is when you go off Ozempic, you gain weight fast. So
Right.
that's something you have to be aware of before you go on it, because it might have the adverse effect.
Well, Kyle Richards is like, why is everybody looking at me when Erica is way thinner than I am? And why isn't anybody asking her if she's on Ozempic? But to be fair, Erica too, it's like when Lisa, do you remember when Lisa went to go do Dancing with the Stars and she came back and she was so fit?
Yes.
It's like in Kenya did Dancing with the Stars, came back so fit. It's like she's doing an Vegas residency. Of course she's going to be fit right now. She's going
The
to look amazing.
rehearsals, yeah, the rehearsals for that alone have to be so draining. And I can't believe I'm even standing up for Erica Jane right here. But those rehearsals and just sometimes, you know, when I was performing, some of the rehearsals were more exhausting than the shows, you know? That's where the real work has to happen so you're ready to perform. And I did see the photo of her with her supposed and alleged new man, and she was very, very thin. But this could be from, like you said, rehearsing and getting ready for this show, especially if it's physically demanding.
Rehearsing and getting ready for the show. Okay.
So,
So we're going to move this on really quick, Jason, because I wanted to talk about last night's, by the way, 700 in the room. Hey, guys.
hey,
Okay.
hit that like button on your way in. It helps us out so much.
Are you wearing our merch?
I am wearing our merch. This is the Tom Girl Buy shirt. So while Sandoval is still around, you can go to our store and catch them. And I think there's a code for members. So if you are a member, go in the members community tab and find the code.
Speaking of members, we are flying out on Sunday to go to Los Angeles for a special interview. So thankfully, since it's not our Miami trip and it's not the Bahamas trip, where it's like we didn't have anything to really show, we're going there for a sit-down interview. So we will be recording all of the behind the scenes. We're dropping it for members only next week, and then we'll resume members onlys next week. When we get back from our trip, we'll do something that week as a live, just to kind of keep everybody going. So
And we do for members too. I want to get those vlogs up on the daily while we're gone. So we're going to try our best to get a day 1, a day 2. And I think I'm only there for 2 days. So
yes. Cindy Powell, you guys are so fit. Seems every celebrity is on it. So this shouldn't be a big deal, which
it just has a bad side effect. It's like, okay, I was just talking to Caroline Stanbury. She looks amazing. All right. But she like looks fit, like healthy fit. Okay. But she works out with a trainer all the time. It's on her social media. I am so excited for the Real Housewives of Dubai to come back, by the way, just FYI.
Yeah. I mean, hold on. Before we get into that, Erica has a new boo, 80 years plus. This is who they're talking about.
Yes.
Look how skinny she is.
She is thin. I mean, her legs are like her, everything is very thin. But again, like who can say what, you know?
Yeah. You can't really just assume that people are doing things. Okay. So speaking of Dubai, what did you want to say?
I'm just so excited.
I know.
Okay, I was talking with Caroline just the other day, and she's like, "You are gonna love season 2." We've already had Andy, say how great it's going to be. I feel like we had that freshman season. We kind of know the ladies. I feel like the dynamics are going to change. We're adding some new ladies in. I'm so ready for that to come back. I really am.
No, I think it's going to be great. I can't wait for the Real Housewives of Dubai. I still can't believe that we got the first ever Chanel Ayan interview.
I know. How awesome was that? That was
at
such a
4
great
o'clock
interview.
in the morning, and I was like,
Guys, literally this how it went. I think we shared this with members, but Chanel, it's very hard to there are a few people it's really, really hard to get to commit at a certain time. So when we committed to a time, I think, and then she was like, "Hey, I'm ready now. I just did my hair and makeup." It was like 3 o'clock in the morning here, and you woke up, you did it. So I'm so happy you did. It was such a great interview.
yes. Josie, Adam, have you convinced Jason to go to Pump yet? Guys, so since we are going to LA, it's a fast in and out trip. We are flying in Sunday. We are shooting on Monday. We are flying out Tuesday. And then we'll be back for the Jersey after party on Tuesday night. So It's going to be a packed 3 days. And of course, we're flying in on the day of Gay Pride. So we actually met 9 years ago on Gay Pride at Pump. And we're flying in to go straight to Pump to see our friends on Gay Pride, which is so cool. I mean, it's just honestly, I felt like I wanted to go before it closed anyways, because I knew that this was going to be, it's just something that there are so many memories at. And hopefully we get to see Lisa, because I would love to have a conversation with her too. So
I think we are, friend. Listen, I can't wait. Okay. Listen, I've said it multiple times on here that sometimes I felt like I had a ball and chain and shackled up at Pump. I spent so many days, if not every single day there for almost 4 or 5 years. I'm actually excited to go see it one more time before it closes. And yeah, that's crazy. That's where we met.
That's where we met. All right, Jason, shall we cap us off with the Real Housewives of Atlanta?
Yes. I want to know really quickly. I want to ask the live chat what you guys thought of Atlanta last night. If you could rate it 1 to 10, I just want to see if I'm in the same space as everyone else right now.
Okay. So what would you rate last night's episode 1 to 10?
I just want to see if I'm in the same space. So I want to see if the live chat is going to
I'm going to give it a 6.5.
Okay.
Oh,
okay. Shady Millennials on it. I'm going to have to say that I'm right there. I'm probably at like a 5.
Housewives Hunter, they better give you a damn interview. I don't like how they play you. Who Housewives Hunter?
They better.
8, 2, 3, 7, 4, 2, 4. Why is Pump closing? Well, honestly, none of us have the real answer. I'm so excited for you both to do the LA trip. Can't wait. 4.5.
Well, I got to give it a 5 because I was so indifferent last night in the episode. And I feel like it's just too much of the same. This is my very first Housewife show I've ever watched. Real Housewives of Atlanta. I've loved it for so long. When the horrible season of Bolo hit, I was just like, ugh. And then it hasn't been the same since. I was excited for the addition of Sonia Richards-Ross. That was kind of like last season. It was like, for me, in my opinion, it was kind of boring, and now we have this season. And I'm just like, what is going on?
Yeah.
I really, listen, you add Courtney, Manetta, she seems to be great right now. So I'm really excited. Also, you have the interview with Manetta dropping straight after this at 1 p.m. guys. Great interview, by the way. I really like when you do those interviews because it gives us a chance to get to know them, especially while we're watching the show. You're like,
was so much fun too.
I mean, literally like 180 than what I had thought. So I didn't give her enough credit. I didn't know she had such a resume, especially last night on the show when she was touting, she danced for Prince. She choreographed for all these other people, Genuine and stuff like that. So I was really impressed, to be honest with you. She's interesting me a little bit. I just don't find myself being interested by anybody on the show right now. Might I say we should bring Portia back?
Oh my gosh, Portia back would be great.
I really think this would be the kick that it needs, and as much as I I don't know where you want to start. As much as I like Marlo, everything is not about Marlo. You know what I mean? We always bring it back to Marlo.
I wanted to start actually with the same thing that we were talking a little bit about earlier, which is the parasocials of it all. Because there was stuff that came out and TV Deets was all over it. Kenya Moore wrote, worst housewife ever. Everything is made up to keep her leftover peach.
Oof.
Okay.
Who said canned peach? Who said
Manetta.
that?
Here we go again. The canned peach at Marlo, talking out both sides of her neck, always behind my back, but never to my face. I don't respect that. You need to worry about getting that nasty hat cough you've had for the past 2 years checked out.
Yikes.
Okay. Becca on Twitter said Candy probably could have been more sympathetic, but Marlo also could have just called Candy directly and told her that her feelings were hurt as soon as it happened. Using it for a storyline is weird. And Candy said, so weird.
Go ahead.
Drew Sidora demanding at Kenya Moore to kick her daughter out. Really? Same mom tea, different day.
Wow. I mean, she's getting a lot of pushback. I'm going to say, I haven't really enjoyed Marlo since she's had a peach. I loved her before.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to say that. I really liked her as a friend. I don't know. I like her right now just as much as I liked that event Kenya took everyone to, that I was like, what the hell is happening? This is not a charity event, but this is what Kenya does. She talks things up.
Yeah.
And she talks them up so high, and it's always like this. And then something happens to overshadow this. I'm really curious to see, we see in the next episode that Kenya gets sick and that she has to go in an ambulance and be driven. I'm like, what? I hope this is something, I don't hope this is something that is affecting her health, but I hope it's real. Or are you just embarrassed about how bad that charity event was?
Oh. Marlo Hampton said, here y'all go. Don't twist the narrative. I was explaining how a new friend was doing me a favor in comparison to Candy, a friend of 15 plus years, who has only done for me when it benefited her. Candy ain't no damn lawyer. I know she can't get my record expunged. Come on now. I mean, it does look bad. It looks like, okay, well, Candy's not a good. And also, if this happened 2 years ago, I completely understand that Marlo is hurt because she lost her nephew to gun violence. I get that. I never want to sit there and say it's been 2 years. People will say it's been 2 years, but you can't put a time stamp on something like that. However,
I agree with you.
Yeah, it is strange though that it would all of a sudden now be used as a storyline when it seems like her and Candy are not necessarily getting along. And you want this situation that happened at Old Lady Gang where there was a shooting. She wants it to be brought up so bad because she feels like Candy does not have to talk about certain things. And we deal with that with Kyle on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We've dealt with that with Teresa on Real Housewives of New Jersey. And there are some people who the other cast members feel like they get special leeway. Like, you have all these spinoffs, you don't have to talk about anything. And Candy probably doesn't want to talk about it because she doesn't want her business to be completely associated. Like She by Sheree said, we don't know if we're going to Old Lady Gang for biscuits or bullets. Like, she doesn't want her business that they've worked their asses off for to be associated by one idiot's mistake of walking in and pulling a trigger.
Other people's, of course, other people's actions. And I agree, but I'm going to have to say though, and I don't know how many people will agree with me or not. And it's okay if you don't. And I saw it in the live chat, and I was going to say this too. It really has not been the same without Nene. And honestly, Beverly Hills has never really been the same without LVP. That is an opinion. I am biased when it comes to LVP. I will say it. But there has been just some kind of, if you go back and watch the old episodes of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, when they replay them on Bravo all day, I'm so entertained. And I've already watched these. And I'm like, this is great. This is great television. Where is that right now? We don't need another booty shake-off contest that, that Kenya's putting together, another piss poor trip like this trip. I really, or Jamaica was such a disappointing trip last season, because we didn't really get to enjoy it. So I don't know. Something's missing. Something is missing.
Brian saying bring Kim back to Atlanta.
I mean, I'm not going to say no to that because of everything that Kim and Croy Kim is going through right now. Would this be the opportunity to kind of twist things up, whether you like her or not,
Yeah. Okay. Well, we do know that Kenya has a new man that she's excited about, and his name is Roy, even though she is still trying to battle her divorce. But while battling her divorce, we have Marlo, who is banging down her hotel door room. And she's like, what the hell is wrong with you? I have my daughter in this room. And she's like, well, then make your daughter go to another room. That's not fair. And I'm like, oh, Marlo, at this point, Andy Cohen had to pull Marlo aside last season, and he told her that you're coming in like an AK-47, like you're firing off at everybody. Those were his words. And I think that she probably toned it down last season towards the end, reeled it back in, and then she went back into this season like completely forgetting what Andy said, because her daughter is in the room. Like, even if you want her to have to film right now, one, she doesn't have to film that late at night. And two, her daughter's in the room. You're kicking the door. The girl is like, she's so little. She doesn't know that that's your castmate. She might think that that's somebody like crazy banging on the door. And three, she is now right now going through custody and all of the other things with Mark, or maybe she put a button on that, but she's still dealing with having to film with her daughter, get special permissions, and then it's going to be all over the show where one of her castmates is kicking down the door of her room with her daughter in the room.
In defense of the ladies knocking like Sonya, everyone took turns knocking on the door.
Not
okay,
kicking.
Not kicking. Well, someone else kicked. Someone kicked the door. Was it Manetta?
I don't know.
Someone kicked the door first, but no one knew that Brooklyn was in the room.
Right.
You know, so, but you got that really honest Kenya coming to the door. But after that, it's like, leave it alone. Marlo didn't have to carry it on. Oh, sorry, didn't know your daughter was in there. Let's step away. Let's be adults.
Let's
we
be
didn't
adults.
get that. We got, you know.
And getting kicked out of that event really honestly was so embarrassing, but it is.
So embarrassing. So embarrassing for production. So embarrassing for the ladies. Really embarrassing for Kenya, but Kenya likes to play things off. Like, I like Kenya, but she really does. Like, when it doesn't work out her way, she loves to play it off like it's not her fault.
I mean, she is kind of the queen of playing things off like they're not her fault.
Twirl. Yes.
Twirl.
And it works. I love watching her.
Also, the drama with Sonia Richards-Ross and her family. Like, she's telling her family that her husband is like, okay, well, you know, we just want to be the Ross family. And her daughter or her sister is like, okay, cool, good for you. And then her brother-in-law ups and quits the next day after this information comes out. I'm like, she's literally housed you guys. She gave you a job. She's trying to spread the wealth and the love over here, and you're pissed off because she wants her house back to herself. And her sister's like, well, listen, I don't know. She doesn't realize, like, when we're not here or when she's not here and, you know, they're gone, the thing is we take after Deuce. Like, we watch him. So we're constantly watching him and helping her. But that's for her to figure out. Like, maybe she wants
100%. Listen, sometimes it's, you don't know what you had until it's gone. And maybe this is one of those moments, but that is really up for Sonia and Ross to decide. You know, like, it really is. And I felt like, I don't know, it works different. You know, I have a lot of friends who have multi-generational homes. And it works, you know. One day we might have a multi-generational home with our mom, with one of our moms or both of our moms. So I can see how it works, but I can see how they would want their space too. But I did see in Sonia's mom's face and in her sister's face that kind of look of disappointment. But this is also someone, and I agree with Sonia too. She's been supporting you guys for so long, but you know, it gets to a point where it's almost expected.
And then your brother-in-law, his ass can't even give you a 2 weeks notice. You're going to up and quit on her the night. Like, you see the list, the to-do list. She just went and said, there's so much to do. You can't even give 2 weeks. You up and quit while living in the same damn house that they're paying the bills for.
Right. That's what I was saying. I would be afraid to quit. Like, quit after you find your new place where you're going to live. But Sonia did bring them all there. So I think she feels to Atlanta. So I think she feels some kind of responsibility to her family as well. But I mean, it's okay to ask for space.
Hold on,
you know,
though. She did also say a year or two, right? So that's the problem, is you give someone an inch, they take a mile. It's already been over a year. And her husband said a year, maybe 2-ish. And Sonia even said, I thought it was closer to 2 years. And they're like, okay, well, cool. That's kind of bullshit. But it's like, you've been living in the house. You can get back on your feet. You've been here in this cozy situation. You have a year. If I had 2 months to figure it out, if you drop me on my ass and I lost everything, give me 2 months. I swear I will figure it out. I might not be eating great stuff. I might be eating ramen and not like nothing but water, ramen and peanut butter, but I will figure it out before I ask anybody.
Yes.
So,
I mean,
okay, guys.
Kenya figured it out. White refrigerator and all.
White refrigerator and all. Okay.
See, that's the Atlanta that I miss. Is those moments, those shady ass moments. They're all really good at the shade. Even Sheree is really good at the shade. It's just we need Portia or we're never gonna get Nene back. But like those days, I'm not saying that because a lot of people don't like Nene. Some people like it. It doesn't matter if you like her or not like it. This is entertainment. We're watching it to be entertained. It is supposed to be fun. Now, bringing Kim back, it might be fun, but at the same time, is there going to be a lot of legal stuff that we have to go through? Again, we can't just have an enjoyable, lighthearted, shady ass show.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
All right, guys. Well, we talked about Lisa Rinna, Ozempic, Kyle, and Erica. We talked about Jen Shaw, a little bit about Lisa Hochstein, Vanderpump Rules, Lala Kent, Tom Sandoval, Ariana Maddox, Lisa Vanderpump. We panned over to Atlanta. I mean, we did the damn thing in this. So now let's go over to our interview that's about to drop right after this with Moneta. Make sure guys, we have over 700 in the room. Go over there and just smash the like button. The link is pinned in the live chat. Show some love and join us in the live chat. We're all going to be in there right after this. And that is literally
so
in 9 minutes. Jason, did we miss anything?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, we love you guys and we'll see you so very soon. Bye guys.
Everyone.